With the end of the semester near, things are beginning to wrap up, but we are not there yet.
That's right. There are still events, projects, and finals ahead of us, and we're coming off a busy few weeks.
And NSU TV has been out in the field covering many stories on this newscast. We show you how NSU honors Veterans Day, the campus communities kick off the holiday season, and visit the final farmers market of the year. I'm BK.
I'm Aiden. All these stories and more coming up on NSU TV.
Great idea. But it was up in former mayors. Is that
Welcome back. We're glad you joined us. The United States celebrated Veterans Day on November 11th, and the NSU Elementary Lab School recognized all branches with a show performed by students on November 15th.
Students of NSU Elementary Lab came out today for the Veterans Day event to watch JRTC students at NSU put on a salute for those who served.
Forward, march.
On November 15, NSU Elementary Lab hosted their annual Veterans Day program, where the reception will be hosted at Garden Pavilion.
We needed to have a program to honor veterans, and I also feel a great responsibility to instill love of country in our young students.
Learning about veterans and the military for this group of students took the form of saying the pledge, singing the national anthem, and honoring our veterans.
Well, first and foremost, we want our kids to understand what a veteran is and why it's important to honor them and to thank them for their service. But we also want our veterans to feel appreciated, and we want them to see that our younger generation is going to have a love of country instilled in them.
His military career, he served in a variety of assignments, including team sergeant on the support.
Parents recognized how important the day was.
I think it just brings the families together. Today we brought in veterans from all around Natchitoches, which was really fun to see the interaction with the students. And then we allowed grandparents to come and parents, and everybody just gets to kind of interact and see the school and the kids and what they're doing, and that's kind of fun, I think.
And while students learned about patriotism, the parents watched on with pride and joy.
My daughter did a little song and dance during the Veterans Day program, so that was fun, and the keynote speaker was also great. I liked how he brought the kids into his speech.
As I'm closing this story, NSU TV would also like to say thank you to our veterans. I'm Kendall Fuller reporting for NSU TV.
Those kids sure have a lot of talent, and it's great to see them honoring our military history. Later in the week, SGA hosted a men's mental health luncheon as a part of their speaker series.
On November 19, 2024, the Student Government Association held a men's mental health luncheon in the Student Union President's Room. They brought in special guest speaker Billy Bolden to speak on the importance of men's mental health and share personal experiences. Northwestern State University's very own President Genovese attended the event to show his support. Attendees of the event got the chance to share the mental challenges they face and the double standards placed on men today. They even checked in with each other to see how they were doing this week. Billy Bolden was able to reach the Northwestern State students and connect with them on a deep level. The event was organized by the 2024-25 SGA President, Terrell Woodard.
Hosting the men's leadership luncheon is really to just provide the men that are on campus an opportunity to engage in important conversations that involve men and being educated and being involved in all that's to offer at Northwestern State University. So our main goal with this event is just to have the men of Northwestern gather in a common space to be able to engage in those important conversations.
To say the event was a success is an understatement. Thank you to Billy Bolden and Terrell Woodard for holding such an important event.
It seems like some valuable information was shared at that session.
I agree, but we still have some more coming. Stay tuned after this break.
Thanks for joining us. We are back with more events across campus and into the community.
NSU is constantly updating its curriculum and teaching styles. NSU TV's own CJ Poligo tells us about how a new course of study at the university.
Drones have invaded Northwestern State University.
The drones belong to the School of Social Sciences and Applied Programming.
I was just visiting one of my former professors, Dr. Tommy Haley, and I was using drones for what I was doing, and he was using drones for archaeology, and we just got talking about how we were using them, and then we said, you know what would be cool? What if we taught this stuff?
NSU started picking up on teaching drones about 3 or 4 years ago. Media-wise, it's so huge because it's so much cheaper. You can get it so much quicker. It's got a huge impact on what you can do with a story or what you can do with like a real short amount of time.
Wondering about the drone size?
Our smallest one is called the Tello. It's a little cheap guy, and it's what we use to kind of train some students, mostly like high school, middle school, even elementary school students. Our biggest one is probably the fixed wing, and I'd say it's probably about 5 to 6 pounds, about 3 feet wide.
Drone licenses are required. However,
there's nothing really holding them back other than just studying and going and taking the test because it's available to pretty much everybody.
That for students, it's another tool in the toolbox. Everything's so competitive these days, whether you're going to the job market or you're going to grad school or going to research. And having the capability to use drone technology for whatever you plan to do, that's another way to build your resume and another tool in the toolbox to make you a more competitive applicant.
all students can join in, including disabled.
For most things, we can find solutions and workarounds so that everybody has access to this, the curriculum. The remote system science and technology courses, those are open to anyone on campus. Doesn't matter your major. I would encourage anybody that's ever remotely thought about working with drones in some capacity to come see us and talk about how we can integrate what we're doing into your degree plan.
This is CJ Paligo for NSU TV.
For those of us that live in central Louisiana, we are still stuck with summer weather. But for one evening, the campus community got to experience winter.
NSU students bundled up and gathered in the Freedmen Student Union Ballroom looking forward to the holiday season.
So this is Winter Wonderland, one of UPC's annual events to kind of kick off the holiday season.
This year's Winter Wonderland theme was Demon Express. The University Programming Council provides entertaining programs and events for NSU's campus students.
We also have a lot of student organizations kind of putting on their own activities at their own tables, some cookie decoration, snow globe making, and stuff like that.
The annual event is a highlight of the fall semester. Over 200 students showed up to eat gumbo, drink hot chocolate, and ride a mechanical reindeer. At a time in the semester where students are overworked with projects and exams, Winter Wonderland is a chance to deck the halls and all be jolly.
They had some cookies and bracelet making. It was cool. And UPC did a really good job putting the event on, trying to win a sweatshirt.
Winter Wonderland was fun for all, including this NSU TV reporter. I'm dashing off to enjoy the music and eat some cotton candy. Wishing everyone happy holidays, this is Victoria Rodrigue.
Each newscast will bring you one story in Spanish.
President Genovese for NSU TV.
La Navidad ha llegado a Néqueros y para darle la bienvenida a la temporada, la Ciudad de las Luces llegó con carrozas, bandas de música y lo que sea que esto sea en el desfile navideño anual. La diversión comenzó en la Northwestern University y luego se dirigió a Front Street, donde los habitantes y visitantes de la ciudad tuvieron la oportunidad de disfrutar de este espectáculo.
Pienso que esto es importante para la comunidad de Natchitoches porque es un evento para compartir en familia, para permitir que los niños puedan disfrutar, vean a Santa Claus, se diviertan, estén con su familia, con sus papás. Y también siento que es importante porque es como uno de los eventos que da inicio a la Navidad aquí en Natchitoches.
Ni siquiera el Grinch pudo arruinar la diversión, ya que los espectadores aplaudieron y recogieron dulces en el desfile.
Mi parte favorita del desfile fue pasarlo junto a mis amigos y su familia, verlos experimentar ese momento por primera vez y estar ahí para apoyar a mis compañeros de danza.
Y mientras la multitud disfrutaba de los dulces y bailaba al son de las bandas de música, La estrella del espectáculo fue la última en entrar con un cordial "ho, ho, ho". Reporta para NSU TV, Dana Barreto. ¡Feliz Navidad!
I really enjoyed that story. And now in studio is the advisor of NSU TV, Dr. Nick Taylor. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, BK, and thanks to the whole news crew for having me today.
Of course. How long have you been involved in NSU student media?
Well, I got here in 2019, and I was semi-involved since then, but we started NSU TV news service right around 2020, 2021, and then of course HSJA was started by a group of students, and I get to advise that as well, of about 2022 or so. So I've been doing it since then, and I've enjoyed it all along.
What's your background in news?
I started out a long time ago as a stringer. Back, believe it or not, in the 1990s. I worked on contract. The news stations would call me and ask me to come in and cover stories. Then I began getting full-time jobs in that. About the middle of 2005, 2006, I started doing promotional and documentary work, getting my master's degree and my doctorate, and today I'm here.
It's great to hear. How did NSU TV get started, and what are they up to now?
Well, NSU TV News Service was a response to COVID. Dr. Brian Gabriel, who was the chair at that time, recognized there was a need for students who couldn't get internships to have some kind of hands-on activity. So him and I devised kind of a way that we could work with news stations, get stories out, have students doing real-world work, and you know, but still stay on campus and still stay at that time social distancing and stuff like that was important. So we put this together and got that thing going, and it's just grown and grown and grown, and we've seen success, and we have wonderful graduates from the program out in the field right now all over the state, working in Texas and different places like that, even Las Vegas. And so it's been an adventure, and it's been fun to do ever since it started in COVID, which wasn't always the most fun time to be working.
That's very true. What's your favorite part of all this?
You know, there's so much that I really do enjoy, and I think my favorite part is seeing students get excited about news, seeing students who come in and they're like, okay, I'll give this a try, I'll make, you know, an effort for one semester, and then they end up saying, you know what, I want to do this for a living, I want to go out there and become a reporter, a producer, I want to work in news in some form, shape, or form. And they come together as a team, and there comes a point in the semester where I'm actually just sitting back and watching things happen, and they're putting together these award-winning productions that, you know, kind of are seeming like magically happening, but it's really a ton of hard work, as all of you all know. I mean, it seems like magic when it's done, but in the middle of the process, it's a bunch of work. So my favorite part is just getting to work with the energetic students who I get to watch as they go from novice all the way to professional.
I love to hear it. We're glad to have you on this newscast. Thank you for coming. Next, we will be back soon with a stroll through the farmers market. Again, thank you, Dr. Taylor.
Thanks again. I really appreciated being here.
We are back with one last story.
A nice part of Fall Saturdays in Natchitoches is the Community Farmers Market. Our reporter Victoria Rodriguez was at Front Street where she sprouted this story.
Members of the community brought their friends, families, and pets to enjoy a sunny morning on the riverbank downtown. Vendors sold fresh fruits and vegetables, plants and flowers, farm fresh eggs, homemade baked goods, jams and jellies, handcrafted art, and much more. Local shopping wasn't the only event. In preparation for the upcoming Christmas festival, Natchitoches' 68th Miss Merry Christmas and the Christmas Bells gathered in their community to throw out trash and clean up the city.
My favorite part about today is definitely just having everyone show support and coming out to even be in something like this, and just picking up the community, or picking up around the community that I love so much.
The Natchitoches Farmers Market will be back downtown next April for their spring market. Out looking for homemade bread, this is Victoria Rodriguez.
Well, this is all we have for you on this newscast.
This is our last newscast of the semester, but more stories are to come. You can follow us on the Purple Media Network. And as always,
Fork 'em Demon.
Demon.